It's coming down, y'all, like the wall of Berlin, Berlin, Berlin. Okay, welcome back to my 3121 discussion videos. Okay, originally today I was going to go straight into reviewing tracks. I will, but I'm going to talk about some other stuff first because there's a bit of background to my own story about getting into 3121. I have a confession to make first of all. I'm assuming that most of you might have seen my How I Became a Prince fan video. If you haven't, I'd go back and watch it now. But pretty much I gloss over the 80s and early 90s, but I pretty much ignore the period between about 1997 and 2005. And today I'm going to fill you in a bit about that. Meanwhile, I'm going to hold this up because, as you can see, the cold has wreaked its effects on my once beautiful body. But anyway, this is my picture symbol. And as I am holding it by its edges, people say, "What are you doing with it out of its bag?" I don't play it. I've played it a couple of times, but I'm not going to play it because I'm worried, that I might wear it down or something. And as you can see, it's too beautiful to do that too. It's gorgeous. But anyway, moving right along. 1996. I had emancipation. I kind of like that, but for some reason, 97 was when I moved from Christchurch to Auckland. Became a student again. I finished off my BA, and then 98, 99, I did my BA honours, and I was very busy with academia, and I wasn't exactly blown away with what Prince was doing in those years. He was putting out albums like New Power Soul and The Raven to the Joy Fantastic, and Crystal Ball was almost impossible to get there. And I also didn't have money. I was even poorer than I am now. But I just kind of went off Prince, I guess. And I know it's sad. I didn't completely go off him. I didn't hate him or anything. But I had a Love Sexy poster on my wall at the time. But I pretty much just stopped buying new music and stuff. And then the Rainbow Children came along in 2001, and I heard a couple of songs of it. I thought, ugh, this is horrible. I don't like it. There are many reasons why I don't like that album, but I can't go into them here. I actually taped an earlier mix of this video, and it got so carried away with hatred and nastiness, I just got rid of it and decided to start new. But essentially, I don't agree with the religious content, and as you guys know, I'm not really a big fan of Prince's Cult of the Month he has, this Jehovah's Witness stuff. But I think actually with 3121, he actually started to ease off the Jehovah stuff, although the album still says, "All glory to Jehovah." To me, his name is God. But anyway, and so, yep. As you know, 2000 to 2003 was a period of the MPG Music Club albums, which I didn't have access to a computer until 2005. I had to go to like the internet clubs, the ones we used to go and used to rent a computer for $4 and you mostly be stuck in there with gamers in the old days. I was actually in Korea at the time teaching English, and they called them PC Bang, and half the time they didn't have English, so it was very hard to be a Prince fan. But what brought me back in was 2005. I got my first personal computer. The SST single came out and I downloaded it. I had an early version of iTunes. I also joined Prince.org. I discovered that, and by mid-2005 I was a member of that. That was really cool. Met some very interesting people. I remember people like Solara. And while I'm talking about the org, I'll just mention that now I've actually put this series of threads up on the org about 3121. And so far it's attracted a mostly positive response. There's a few Hey-Trina hater witzes who are saying, "Oh, I hate 3121, it's plastic, it's awful, it's full of filler," and all this stuff. But, it's been mostly positive, and I like that. So pretty much by 2006, I was back in the saddle again. And one person on the org, I'll mention his name, hopefully he won't get upset that I do, but he calls himself Militant, actually told a story about how on February 17th, 2006, he was invited into Universal Records in London for a listening party, and they played the album 3121. This was over a month before it came out. At this stage, the only Black Sweat and Te Amo Corazon had dropped as singles, and so everyone knew those. And as you know, the singles back then only had the pretty much the single song, but as you can see, the record actually, so people knew that Beautiful, Loved and Blessed existed on the album too. He listened to the album and he actually apologised because he said back then he got 3 of the singles wrong. He called track 5 something like, Loving You, and track 9 was, Lovers Forever. No, sorry, track 6 was Lovers Forever instead of Love, and track 9 was called Let's Do Something, which as we know now is called The Word. And he mentioned that he didn't really like Beautiful, Loved and Blessed very much, or Tamar's vocals, so he was really on the pulse there, but he really liked Black Sweat, 3121, and Get on the Boat. But anyway, so he did that. That was interesting to read that. And if you go back onto the org and you have a look at the 3121 threads from the time, people were excited about this album for months. And when I got it too, it pretty much brought me back into the Prince thing 100%. Because by the time I had a computer, I basically evolved from the 1990s, tape, cassette, CD type fan, reading books about him, to the totally wired and netted, millennium fan. And also the big difference was that my earlier 90s phase, I was a teenager, And by the 2006 era, I was pushing 30, and now I'm pushing 40, as you know, and I'm pushing it pretty hard. So that's a background. Now let's talk about some music. Okay, as you know, 3121 has 12 tracks. I'm going to review them in order of the tracks, and today we're going to talk about the title track 3121. Now, to me, on the album 3121, the opener is probably, it would be in the top 3 tracks. It's a really good song. I mean, Prince sings it in a sort of Camille-like voice, but the wonderful thing is if you listen closer to the song, and it requires you to listen closer to it, is he's actually got a deeper voice there too, and there's like a middle voice that goes, gonna be so much fun. Then you hear the deeper voice go, 3121. And if you listen closer, there's like about 3 or 4 more vocal layers, and Prince is moving between basically a falsetto, a baritone, and a tenor in the start. There's some really good squeaky bass on it, and some amazing drum track. I actually think the drum track here, played by Michael Bland, it's real, because I know when we get to Love, we're going to talk about those plastic drums and those hideous late 1980s style R&B auto tunes, and the fake drum track being put on. It's made up most of Tamar's album, but this here, it's pure, and the lyrics themselves are quite bizarre. I'm trying to look at it. It's like Prince is inviting you to some sort of party, which no doubt involves sex and dancing, but it's like a Hotel California party in the sense that you can never leave. So there's almost something supernatural about it. But it may have something to do with the house that Prince was staying in. And I'll just get this out while we're talking about it. And some of the lyrics, you know, pretty much are hard to interpret. And one of the lyrics that's commonly misinterpreted, oh, here's Tamar for you. Yep, the album that never emerged. I think it emerged in Japan. Was the line, drink champagne from a glass with chocolate handles. And of course, some people interpreted that in a very dirty fashion. If you're squeamish or don't like dirty words, look away now. The lines are, drink champagne, which refers to semen, cum, jizz. Glass with chocolate handles refers to a black penis with testicles, basically. But I don't really think that is what it means, but some people did interpret it. But either way, it's a great song. It's got a great pounding beat, and Prince is singing in this real come-on voice. He actually rented this basketballer's house and did this to it, and as you can see, I mean, the basketballer sued him afterwards because he loaned him the house. He did not loan him the right to basically turn it into a Prince Pleasure Palace, which is basically what he did. And it's quite funny. I'm going to show you some more shots in later videos, but yeah, I mean, the lyrics on that song, I mean, they are bizarre. I mean, we have got words here, yeah, Japanese ropes and sandals, you know, there it is, drink champagne from a glass with chocolate handles. You can come if you want to, but you can never leave. Look over there, there's another turn on. Dancing in your belly, you know, this is some weird lyrics here. This is classic Prince quirkiness. And it's a really funky song. It really sets the album up well. It's a great opening track, and basically you can see why. I mean, it's an album that basically grabs you from the first listen, and it's just a really cool album. And yet, we'll talk about some reaction now. At the time when it came out, people were like, oh, Prince is 47, he's past it, he shouldn't be singing this stuff. That's all he was singing when he was 21. And I think it's quite funny listening to that now, because Prince is now 57 and he's doing even more racier songs like When She Comes and Groovy Potential. But pretty much this is the first sexualized stuff since he'd taken the JW pill, I mean. And when we get to the next video, you're going to see the songs Lolita and Te Amo Corazon and Black Sweat really do push the whole sex thing further. But for me, the sex monster coming up is definitely the Ballad Satisfied. But yeah, there's my second 3121 video. And just one more thing before I leave, Jay's survey, I mean, I've already mentioned that in previous videos, it closes in the next couple of days. So if you're going to do it, you need to get those responses in. Okay, it gets you to rank 53 albums at the end, but you only need to rank the ones you've heard, so you don't have to rank, you don't have to rank what you think of Expectation or the Chocolate Invasion. Okay, this is a door cream, and basically, you know, have a funky time.